Hello, citizens of Gotham. You are watching the Political Vigilante on a very special Anything Can Happen night. We're going to bring Ron Placone, our lovely and talented co-host, on here in a quick second. Hit the like button, subscribe, share this out on your social media. And of course, a great way to support the show is go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, and you can tip this, and we'll answer questions at the very end if you'd like. And also scrolling below is all the other ways you can support the show, because we're in month 10 of being demonetized by the good people at the CIA tube. So yeah, all the likes, the subscribes, all that stuff helps. And when you share this on your social media, that also helps as well. Hello, Venetia, David watching, and everybody else over on the rockfin.com. And those of you watching at Facebook, thank you so much. Tell Zuckerberg we said hello. All right, let us bring the co-host of Anything Can Happen, host of Get Your News On with Ron, and in the pocket of Big Cat, ladies and gentlemen, Ron Placone.
What's up, Graham? Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too, man. How are things going?
Everything's wonderful, man. Things are going great over at Big Cat. Just another day in the oligarchy, getting ready to at least have some trivia questions about our falling empire.
Isn't it great being in a falling empire? Like you've read about all these empires falling in the history books. I watched like the Soviet Union collapse in the 90s, but it's wild to kind of be living in one and watch it happen in real time.
Totally, man. I mean, it's interesting at the very least. You think, oh, I'm one of the people where, oh, that's unfortunate that you were there then. Shit. All right. Well, here it goes.
Yeah. And you always read in the history books, like, didn't people know it was collapsing? Didn't they think like, man, I need to get out of here? Didn't anybody do that?
Right? I mean, if people are going to wonder that, it's like they had technology. They had planes and boats and shit.
Right.
What did they do? Did they just
leave?
hung out? They're like, well, I don't know. Here we go. I mean, what's that Carlin quote? It's like, it's a front row seat or whatever.
Right.
Great. I forget the quote, but it's very clever.
It was a really clever quote. I can't remember it at all, but man, was it amazing. Like,
there's a very clever thing a guy said, and you're all here for it.
Boy, there's going to be so many clever things said. I don't know what any of them are, but they're going to be fantastic.
Well, I was at least inspired by the climate summit, Graham. I don't know if you saw some of the reviews, but most of the environmentalists in the world referred to it as exceptionally weak. That was their official review, exceptionally weak and greenwashing. And of course, we showed up good in the United States. Joe Biden fell asleep. And Wolf Blitzer from CNN showed up to the wrong city. So we're crushing it. We're crushing it.
Yeah. Joe Biden's doing great. I mean, just falling asleep during climate summits. I mean, I'm excited, and all the cap and trade incremental centrism of the COP26 or whatever, that climate thing that is going to do nothing. Like, that's exciting to watch.
The number one people there were fossil fuel lobbyists. That was like the most amount of people. It was mostly fossil fuel lobbyists more than anything else. Yeah, you should sneeze, buddy.
I'm allergic to that much bullshit.
You're allergic to that shit. You are allergic. Yeah, we all are. We're all going to be. Shall we bring out our contestants?
Let's bring out our contestants, Ron, for Anything Can Happen.
So this first contestant is the author of the Yas Queen Chronicles and is a writer and a co-host of the Punch Up podcast. Please welcome Pat Code, a.k.a. Pat the Burner, a.k.a. Peter Douche. I love it. I love it, Pat. I won't let it die.
Hey, if I have any legacy in my life, it's that I played Peter Dow's parody account. Like that's going to be on my tombstone. I'm going to tell my kids about it. I'm going to make my grandkids are going to read my book about it, and nobody even knows who Peter Dow is outside of our little circle. So
it was one of the most brilliant inside baseball parody accounts that I've ever seen in my life. That's one of the things I loved about it, man.
I appreciate it.
And I didn't know who you were I just knew that account. And then when Ron and I performed for the first time in Sacramento, he's like, dude, Pat, does the Peter Douche account is going to be there. It was so great. And you were reading clips from the book you wrote and tweeting about you were turning the audience into a bunch of radical centrists, which just made me laugh.
Hey, if I did one thing, Peter Dow is not a terrible person these days. He might be fake, but he's not the same shithead. So there's one thing I did.
If you help turn the corner on that guy just on his tweets, that's amazing. Like if you were able to do that when he like came out and was like, yo, no, the corporate Democrats are bad. I was like, what? How did this happen? And you have to take at least some credit for that.
I
will,
because
when
I
have
unblocked you.
Nothing
that was
else.
That was part of his evolution. He's like, unblocked. I'm unblocking Peter Douche.
Yeah, he followed me for a minute and then he was like, that's too much. He's like, whoa. But anyway, fuck him anyway. Let's get on with the show.
Let's get on with the show.
Who's the other guest?
Our contestants
are
just like moving along. All right, our next guest coming to the stage. He is a filmmaker, an anti-imperialist filmmaker, founded Right Brain and edited my movie trailer, directed The Revolution Televised and Yang Metal Rat. You can find the company on Instagram at Right Brain TV. Please welcome Kevin Ronca, everybody.
How's it going, guys? I don't have anything to top the Peter Douche story, so
well,
in that intro.
There's a parody account in your future.
You did a great documentary showing the lies and crimes of the 2016 election. And it was so powerful that you've been blocked and banned and everything for that. Like,
yep, I do. The squash projects that I've had that were actually before I did the documentary, kind of moving forward in the industry, watching them all evaporate. I kind of wear them as a badge of honor. It means you're doing the right thing when you start seeing your projects get sliced behind the scenes.
Well, I mean, literally, I was introduced to you by Dr. Jill Stein. Yeah. Like, she came to our show in Boston. I don't know. I think it was 2 years ago. And we met her and she was so awesome. And then she like emailed or texted me like, you need to meet Kevin because you're both filmmakers and he made this movie. And it was just like, that was pretty rad that we were introduced by Jill Stein. Like,
that was so cool.
My friends still get wigged out when I'll be like, well, Jill was telling me the other day and they're like, what? You talk to that girl? But then half of them, not as much friends as acquaintances, still think that all that Russia stuff, all the Russia Gate stuff. Right. So I got wrapped in that. And I always say like, no, I know her. She's not a Russian agent. She's just a doctor. But
yeah,
just right through.
It's so amazing. We need to give these disclaimers in our lives in like 2021. They're like, she's not a Russian spy. She's just a person who feels like more than two parties have the right to democracy.
She literally just wants a clean planet and to end the wars, but it's just too much.
Sounds like Russia to me. Crazy. That sounds like right from the Kremlin. That's what that sounds like.
That's how we get fascism right there.
Ending wars and a clean planet. Well, let's get right into anything can happen. We have a newly structured show, 3 rounds. The first round is going to be Who Said This? I'm going to read a famous quote from a prominent Democrat or Republican, a president, vice president, or prominent member, Speaker of the House, prominent cabinet member. It's not going to be an obscure person. I will read the quote. First person to raise their hand gets to answer. If they answer correctly, they get 1 point. And then they have a chance of getting a second point by saying which specific politician said that quote. If they get it wrong, the other person has a chance to steal that point. At the end of round 1, the person in the lead will be given 4 categories that they get to choose from for round 2. One of them, this is a new wrinkle to the game, is the secret super delegate category. So if they choose that one, then whoever's trailing will automatically get a 1-point lead going into round 2 and get to pick it.
Yeah, because there's not actually any questions in said category.
Yeah. It's just a scam.
That's going to save me.
It's just a scam.
I brought my magic mug, apparently. This is my green screen doing this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect,
anyone's really annoyed by it.
I like it. It's
a
coffee mug. We just had Halloween. And also Kate, our moderator, will be keeping score. So far, Ronca 0. Go, Kevin.
0.
0-0. All right.
0.
Our first question from the category, who said this? Democrat or Republican? Rick, I'll tell you what, $10,000 bet.
That's the quote. That's the whole thing.
That's the whole quote.
Okay, Google.
Someone raised their hand.
Somebody raised their hand.
Kevin.
Democrat.
That is incorrect.
Oh, I just narrowed it down.
So, Pat, a chance to get the first point. Tell us which prominent Republican said the following quote. Rick, I'll tell you what, $10,000 bet.
I thought I'd get a point just for Republican. This is going to get hard. Rick. So it's someone on CNN but these are prominent people. I'm going to go with Romney.
You're going to go with the first point of the game. Congratulations. Mitt Romney is correct.
It was during a debate.
Pardon?
He said it to Rick Perry during a debate.
Yep. During the Republican
debate.
Oh,
and it's
shit.
because that really makes you relatable to regular people. Hey, $10,000 bet, Rick. Come on.
Just
who doesn't bet 10 grand on a whim during a debate?
Like rich assholes at a country club. 10 grand for that putt. 10 grand, you don't make it.
I got 10 grand in my binder.
I got to sharpen up a little bit. I feel like that was obvious. I got to sharpen up a little bit now. I thought you were going to keep going. When you stopped, I was like, wait, that's the whole hint?
That's it.
I'm just going to confess that I got that from the chat, and I'm going to turn off chat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, turn the chat off. Wow, just cheating. Okay, cool. So let's turn the chat off.
I mean, I didn't mean to cheat. I was just looking at options, and I'm like, I'm a prominent leftist online. I can't get canceled here. But how do I turn that off?
I'm a leftist, not a prominent leftist, so I don't have too much to worry about.
Go to private, click it on private chat. That's one way to do it. All right. Already cheating after the first question. Outstanding. Pat has the lead, 1-0. Who
Pat
said
is having
this?
his Iowa moment.
Little help from Pete Buttigieg in the chat.
We're using Pat's app today.
Pat created his own app. All right. Who said this quote? Which prominent Democrat or Republican said this quote? Juarez is reported to be the most dangerous city in America.
Raise your hand when you're ready. Pat.
Democrat.
Pat, that is incorrect. That was said by a Republican. Now, Kevin, a chance to steal a point and tie us up at one apiece. Which prominent Republican said that quote?
John McCain?
Incorrect. Pat, now you have a chance to steal that point and give yourself a 2-point lead. Which prominent Republican said the following quote? Juarez is reported to be the most dangerous city in America.
Bush.
That is incorrect. Ron Placone. You guys can't just keep guessing. We're just going to move on.
Pat was close. You were in the right state. That was Rick Perry.
Reagan.
Rick Perry.
Rick Perry.
A Rick Perry theme going on here.
I was a little. Yeah, there's themes that pop up here, gentlemen.
Yeah, a little bit of
not
Rick
as
Perry heavy out of the gate.
This is not a good game for me if it's going to be Rick Perry heavy, but.
So remember now, the first part of it, all you got to do is pick one, Republican or Democrat. It's a 50-50 shot. All right. Next quote. Who said this? Which prominent Democrat or Republican said this quote? We will not be dissuaded. We will not be deterred. We will not be detached. Said to a group of protesters demanding a pipeline be stopped.
Can you say the quote again?
We will not be dissuaded. All right, Pat raised his hand.
He raised his hand.
I got to go Democrat on that one.
Pat, that is correct. You now have a 2-point lead, a chance to extend it to 3 points. Which prominent Democrat said that quote?
I'm going to go with AOC.
Oh, that was what I was gonna say.
Great guess, but incorrect.
Oof, I feel better. That was what I was gonna guess. So that was my okay.
I will read the quote again, Kevin, and then you have a chance to grab a point and tell us which prominent Democrat said the following quote to a group of protesters demanding a pipeline be stopped. Quote, "We will not be dissuaded. We will not be deterred. We will not be distracted." Quote.
Hillary Clinton.
Incorrect. Ron, tell them which prominent Democrat said that quote.
Kamala Harris.
Oh, it's close.
What?
Yep.
I needed to just go. I was right there.
Just says
British
anything.
Democrat.
Yep. Our
I picked the fakest Democrat. I should have picked the second fakest Democrat.
There's so many to
That
choose
was a
from.
good strategy, but yeah.
I believe Pat has a 2-point lead, Kate. He picked up a point on that one. Pat is up 2.
I would like to resign now. Up to.
Yes, resign so I don't get a 0.
Got to go.
Last
Remember
one
now.
in the category, folks.
Yes. 5 questions per category, right? That's what we said.
No,
Ron?
it's 4.
4.
4, 4, 3.
4, 4, 3. I forget
Yeah.
the rules to my own game show.
That's right.
So do I.
I'll keep tabs on the numbers.
Next quote, which prominent Democrat or Republican said this quote? See, students, you too can be president.
Pat.
Democrat.
Incorrect.
Oh, shit.
Kevin, which prominent Republican said the following quote? See, students, you too can be president.
I don't disagree with the quote. It's just such a stupid quote. And now I'm racking my brain because it could be anyone with those kind of parameters. So just give me a second.
It's
The Republican.
It's a Republican. There's been a lot of prominent Republicans that are stupid.
George Bush Sr.
That is incorrect.
Come on.
Pat the Burner, a chance to take a 3-point lead before we go into round 2. Which prominent Republican said, see, students, you too can be president?
I'm going to go back a little bit, but Dan Quayle. I take it by the laughter. That's not the right answer.
But such a great choice. Both of you had excellent choices, but you were right. Close.
You were right in the vicinity, but you both overthought it. That was George W. Bush.
Oh,
Yeah, the most likely suspect to say a thing like that.
whether you miss by an inch or a mile, it's still the same painful feeling. So I'm still unhappy. Either way.
He popped in my head.
Introspection moment between the.
It sounded like something dumb enough that either of them could have said it, and that's what was so challenging about it. Like,
yeah, and he in fact was a C student, so there was a lot of people that made fun of him, which is why I'm guessing Pat said Democrat. You just thought it was a Democrat that made fun of George W. Bush, right?
Well, I initially thought it was going to be Biden. Because he plagiarized all those things in college, and I mean, he's not the brightest guy, and he tries to appeal to the train working average like Joe C student, you know.
All right, Pat, you have the lead, 3-0 going into round 2. I will give you 4 categories to choose from. You get to pick. Remember now, one of them is the super delegate category. So, do you want to pick? First category to choose from is name that dictator. The next one is hold on. Name that dictator. Name that empire. To coup or not to coup. And then politician or song lyric.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Politician or song lyric. Let's go.
That is the fun category. That was not the super delegate. Congratulations. You still have the lead. And for all the people watching at home, this is a new wrinkle. Had he picked the super delegate category, Kevin would automatically have a 4-3 lead.
I'm praying for that super delegate. One time I ever wanted a super delegate in my life.
All right. Pat has the lead 3-0. But remember now, Ron, we've seen 3-point leads before. We've seen 6-point leads before.
They come and go so fast, Graham. This is still anyone's game. And now there's a lot of points on the board. He chose a topic with a lot of points on the board because not only is there the question, politician or song lyric, but also if you can name the politician or the song or artist, we'll accept just either the song or artist. That's another point. So a lot of points floating around on the board here.
And we've seen it happen. We've seen in these big point categories where somebody comes from behind and takes an astounding lead moving into the final round.
All right, let's not build up expectation here.
Everyone bet up heavy on Kevin Ronca. Put it all. Put 10 grand on Kevin right now to come from behind.
Kevin wins, someone will finance his next film. Somebody in the chat.
It's giving me some incentive. How far back is the music going? We're not talking like 90s hits. You're saying any decade, any period, right? With music.
I mean, yeah, like there might be some Bach up in there. Most of it is pop music, classic rock, kind of pretty apparent stuff.
Yes, fairly mainstream. It's not. I mean, I know Ron has a very detailed musical knowledge, we'll say. So but this is pretty. It's like. But you got to understand now, it could be a quote from a prominent politician or a song lyric. Okay. So let's go into it because, Ron, we know that anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Round 2.
Boom, the deuce. All right. Is this a politician's quote or a song lyric? I cheered when Humphrey was chosen, my faith in the system restored. I'm glad the commies were thrown out of the AFL-CIO board.
Raise your hand. Kevin.
It's a song.
That's correct. You got your first point of the night, Kevin. Congratulations. And a chance to cut the lead to only one. Name either the artist or song to get yourself your second point.
Can you read it one more time, please?
I cheered when Humphrey was chosen, my faith in the system restored. I'm glad the commies were thrown out of the AFL-CIO board.
Kid Charlemagne? I don't know. I don't know the song.
That's incorrect. Pat, a chance to put your lead back up to 3 points. What musician, what is either the song title or the artist who said this? I cheered when Humphrey was chosen. My faith in the system restored. I'm glad the commies were thrown out of the AFL-CIO board.
I really doubt this is the right answer, but it's what I've got. I'm going to go with Kid Rock. Because he hates commies.
He hates glad commies, the commies were thrown out.
Fuck, that's not it.
Ron, in keeping with the anything can happen theme, I think that's the first time Kid Rock's ever been used as an answer for the show.
Yeah, that's the first time Kid Rock has ever been mentioned in this game show, ever. Like, I never thought such a thing would happen, even with politician or song lyric. That's an excellent guess, but these lyrics are actually being satirical because this is a song that I have redone, that many other artists have redone over the years. This is Love Me, I'm a Liberal by Phil Oakes.
Damn it.
But God, we've got to figure out a way to get a Kid Rock lyric somewhere into this this game show.
Yeah,
we gotta,
we got to do challenge accepted. There's going to be a Kid Rock. I want to get a Kid Rock lyric, and I want someone to guess politician. That's my goal for this show.
You could probably find it.
That's my personal victory.
If that was Kid Rock and you got that right, you deserve to win that. To be honest, the whole game. To be honest,
Even with the cheating, I would deserve it.
yeah, that's an instant
Thank
win.
you.
That's an instant win. Well, Kevin got his first point on the board. 3-1, kind of a low scoring contest, Ron, but we've seen these before.
We have seen this before. It's been low scoring. Eventually, the contestants realize it's best to raise your hand quicker, and then the score goes up. Usually, that's how it works. So we'll see what happens here.
I feel like these contestants might not figure that out, even though we're talking about them right now.
I have faith in them,
Yes.
Graham. I feel like they will. I feel like they're both kind of waiting to pounce. They both had the similar strategy of easing into this, but now it's round 2, second question, and we all know anything can happen.
Oh,
Let's
here
go.
we go.
Let's go.
I think, Ron, I want to say this too. This is the first time we've had 2 contestants that both had hats.
That's right. That's a solid theme too going on tonight. Hats indoors. Love it.
You know the
I have
weather
one-
up here in Philadelphia, dude? Are you kidding me?
It's probably really cold.
negative outside. I'm in a basement. Negative weather.
It got
Is
up
it-
to 88 today.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was
Kevin.
surfing this morning.
Kevin, are those actual books behind you?
No, they're props.
It's a green
that we make.
screen.
It's just a prop. We actually build them.
God damn it!
If you open them up, there's nothing inside of them. It's just paper.
Like the Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
All that theory.
You gotta plug Chris Hedges any chance you get. It really was just to plug Chris Hedges because I love his work.
Nice.
Nice.
All that theory.
I haven't read
All
any
that theory.
there.
All that theory, and you got one fucking point.
I know.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
only
just
know, and I
talking
only
shit.
got
I
it 'cause
cheated.
it's
I cheated to get my points, so we're good.
I mean, I only got that because it rhymed. I just didn't see a politician like saying this thing with this rhyming scheme at the end that
Right.
sounded like a song. There was no skill.
crack the
Smart.
code.
Good guess. Let's go to our second question. In round 2, Pat has a slim 3-1 lead. And Ron, as we well know, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
All right. Was this said by a politician or is this song lyrics? Can't living with the bill means it won't become law.
What's the first word you just said?
Can't living with the bill means it won't become law.
Pat.
This is a Democrat. I mean, no, this is a politician. Let's just let me.
That's
do
correct.
do I lose points here?
No, that's okay.
Pat, that is correct. That is a politician. For an extra point, you now have your 3-point lead again to extend it. Which politician said that quote?
It feels like Nancy Pelosi, but she didn't mean to be cool. She just was drunk.
We get a
She just was like,
disclaimer with a
These
guess.
bills, one of those, I think.
Just a boozed up Pelosi with a little bit of a
Boozed up.
sugar ice cream high,
Yeah,
just fumbling
pretty
through a
much.
sentence.
I think so.
That's a
It's a
great guess.
fantastic guess.
But incorrect, Pat. Kevin, you have a chance to get back to only being down by 2 and get your second point of the night. Which politician said this quote? Can't living with the bill means it won't become law.
AOC? I don't know.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
Ron Placone,
that may
tell
be-
everybody which idiot said this.
Well, see, I was hoping the fact that it wasn't really a coherent sentence would give it away. George W. Bush.
Yes. Yeah.
And
So
what
if I
was the
read the-
bill? Do we know?
No,
Am
I'm not sure.
It's
I'm not sure
stretching.
what it was.
Sorry.
Democrat and Republican, Republic just all blurs together to me into one giant corporate blob. I'm having a lot of trouble differentiating them in everyday life and in some of these questions. I wasn't sure on that one. I thought he said it was a Democrat. I just immediately, oh man, they're so close on the spectrum. This is really tricky.
Well, now in this category, it's just a politician or a song lyric. So You just got to figure out which politician said it. That's why in that, what Ron said. So I was trying to be as clear as possible that the sentence structure was wrong of the quote, which would give you a clue that it's either George W. Bush or Dan Quayle.
Yeah. Or Biden. I mean,
Or
Biden
Biden.
hold his own there too.
Yeah, they're interchangeable, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Biden's sentence structure isn't because he's dumb. It's because he's got cognitive decline. So it is a little different. It's a little different in how it. But Pelosi being drunk was an excellent choice. I see how they do
Solid
all.
guess.
They all. Pat has the lead 4-1, but Ron.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen, Graham. But we gotta, Kevin's got to really go on offense here. He's got to go on offense. We're almost through the second round. Time for some points.
This is our third question of round 2. We do 4-3-3, right? Is that what you said? Or
4-4-3.
4-4-3. So,
4-4-3.
okay, there's two more, including this one. All right. Who said this, politician or song lyric? I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away.
Kevin.
Can you repeat the song?
That is correct.
Yes.
You got a point.
Yes.
Repeat the quote again.
Yes, I will. I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. I either need the name of the song or the artist will do.
Smashing Pumpkins? I don't know.
Ooh.
I think I got it.
Pat, which artist or song lyric is this?
Sinead O'Connor. No, it's not.
No, dude.
Cheryl Crow.
God damn. I was so confident about
You guys
that.
were all in the
I'm
right
here to
decade
remind you of the,
of the
knew the
mess
song.
you left when you went
That's not
away.
Sinead. Who is
It's
that?
not
Who is that?
fair to deny me.
I know the song.
Yeah, we know the
Yes.
song.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Yo, ought to know that it's Alanis Morissette.
Oh,
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Oh, that point was floating around for anyone to grab, but Ron, they got close. But alas, that second point went to no one.
And that song is about Dave Coulier.
Yes.
Fun fact.
Dave
I was
Coulier.
cramming.
Who is Dave Coulier?
He was Uncle Joey in Full House.
Okay.
Is that really who it's about?
Yeah, she wrote that song about him.
They
They
dated.
had a thing,
Wow.
Alanis and Dave, because they're both, I don't know, maybe it was because they're both Canadian. They were like, Canada, let's date. But it didn't work out. And she wrote You Ought to Know about him.
Yeah.
I studied all the wrong.
But she'd go down on you in a theater. He does like super clean comedy now, and like that song's about him. Do you think about me when you fuck her? Like, I'm talking about my kid in Spanish class. Cut it out.
Dave Coulier just posted on Instagram the time he went to Japan and got off the plane, and all these Japanese people were waiting to get his autograph like a year or two ago. And he was like, or maybe two before. And he was like, what? And they were like, Uncle Joe, sign this lunchbox, this Full
I
House.
thought
Oh,
you were
yeah.
gonna say they all started singing Alanis Morissette at him. I'm like, that's awesome. Good for her.
That
Good
would
for
rock.
her. That would be what I would do if I met. I would just start singing that song. I mean, how could you not? I hope he embraces it. I would if I were him. I'd be like,
You
I
have to.
inspired that badass song. I mean, yeah, like we're still not on speaking terms, but man, I inspired that badass
Yeah.
song. Maybe they are on speaking terms.
Being
Maybe
from
she
the
asked him all the
90s,
questions. Does she go down on you? And actually, she did. She met your bluff. She went, thank you for that. Actually,
Yeah.
Growing
I
up
just-
in the 90s and missing that is like a cardinal sin. I can't believe I didn't get Alanis Morissette.
fellas,
I
I know.
I feel the
don't know.
More
same.
embarrassed
I
by
feel the
that
same.
than all the other categories. That's it.
Like, and with the song lyrics, I deliberately try to not sing them in the cadence so I don't give it away too much. But I feel
There's
like
always a little bit though.
I do love the idea of Billy Corgan singing that song, though. So Smashing Pumpkins was in many ways a beautiful guess because that would be
Smashing Pumpkins.
interesting. I want
What about Kid
you
Rock?
to know that I'm still just a rat in a cage.
I thought
This
Kid Rock was the one before this. The like can't living with the like that just gibberish one. So
I can't live with this bill. I'd love to hear Kid Rock go, I went down on you in a theater. I'd love to see Kid Rock bust that song out with an American flag on his face or whatever.
Wow.
All right. Kevin did pick up a point, cutting Pat's
God
lead
damn
to
it.
2.
God damn it.
Last
One
one in the
question
category.
remaining in this category. 2 points up on the board.
Still anyone's game here, Graham.
Anything could happen, Ron. Kevin could tie this up. Pat could
He
take
could
a
tie it up this
commanding
round.
lead. Anything can happen.
It's a big question right here. You ought to know.
Wow.
Was the following quote said by a politician, or is this a song lyric? There's an extra spring in my step tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I am so relieved that the whole birther thing is over.
Kevin.
well, it's obviously a politician.
That's correct. You just got yourself another point and a chance to tie the game up as we go into round 3. Kevin, which politician said that quote?
Say the line one more time.
There's an extra spring in my step tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I am so relieved that the whole birther thing is over.
It's one of two people. It seems too obvious to be Obama. So I'm gonna go Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
That is incorrect.
It was
Pat?
Obama's so obvious.
It's unfortunate to say Obama, but it's Obama.
Pat, that is correct. You just extended the lead back to 2 again. Kevin had a
seemed
shot.
Too
at
obvious.
tying it up.
It just seemed too obvious. I don't know. I was like, are they really
don't
making
blame
it
you.
that obvious?
Yeah, you don't want to be. Sometimes you can't outthink. You can't outthink yourself.
Can't
Ron. We
overthink
know
it.
this.
Can't
Yeah.
overthink it.
Well, they called us low already, which is, I don't know if you know teachers, but that's code for your kid's not smart when they're like, some of my kids are low.
The low scoring game.
That's
a
my
low
inside
scoring
knowledge
goal.
from dating a teacher. So
They
if
really
your kid is
say that?
low. No, they teachers talk about your kids being low, and that's like, it's kind of vague, but yeah, it's a knock at your kid.
That's really funny, but
Yeah.
interesting.
I had no idea what kind of game show this was going to be. Now I see that my ignorance is just being broadcasted to all of your fans. I don't. All the easy ones, Alanis Morissette.
Mine too.
That's got to be a soundbite and a testimonial. I didn't know what kind of game show this is going to be. Now I know my ignorance is being broadcasted.
You got to be shameless, you got to live shameless. Very free feeling. Seriously,
Round 3,
shame.
fellas. We're doing this.
This is
go.
exciting. Round 3. Still a
It's
tight
still
contest.
anyone's game. I mean, this is only a 2-point game, Graham, and a lot of points are on the board. Round 3 is another big point round. We've had all big point rounds this game.
We've seen people overcome 4, 5, and 6 point leads. So, Ron, we do know that anything can happen.
Oh yeah, this is a 1-round game, and it has been this entire contest, Graham.
Final round. 3 questions in this round. This is, I will read and you will tell us, you will pick, is it either a state law or a religious law? And then you get a chance, if it's a state law, to say which state it is. Or if it's a religious law, just say with the religion you think it comes from, or the religious book, the Quran, the Bible, etc.
Okay.
All right. Pat has a slim 5-3 lead as we go into the final round.
Girthy lead.
Our 2 low contestants are getting ready. All right. State law or religious law? Ask and ye shall receive.
Kevin.
So religious law,
That's correct, Kevin.
Bible.
That's 2 points. Boom! Out of the gate.
Oh,
Boom, boom.
man.
Look at
All
that.
tied
I
up.
realized I was overthinking every question. It's
Wow.
now the most obvious.
Wow.
If I lose to Christianity, I can live with that because
If I win with Christianity, I cannot live with that. So.
is the Bible on the book on the shelf behind you? Because that's
It is.
cheating.
Is
I
there
mean,
a
I
right
feel
next
like
to
that's
Bible back
there?
it's
For
God
next to
damn
Naked
it.
Lunch by Burroughs. Keep my Bible
No,
in
that's-
mind.
Perfect.
That's a good balance.
Naked Lunch right next to the Bible. That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Gotta have him right there.
Well, I mean, Ron, we've seen this before, but I mean, Kevin has been trailing through 2 rounds.
Tied it
And
up
then-
in one fell swoop. This was like the pick 6 of the match. The
Mm.
momentum has shifted, Graham. Wow. Anything can happen.
2 questions remain, Ron.
Yeah.
4
Tied
total
up.
points hang out there. Anything can happen. Kevin could take a 4-point lead and put this thing to bed. Pat could take the lead again. We could be tied. We have no idea what is going to unfold in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh,
The
okay.
contestants may be low, but the anticipation is high. We are here for it.
Can you explain the rules again?
Is that super delegate thing not happening?
Am
It
I going to
already
get
happened.
5?
He didn't
Is
pick
$5
it.
grand really on the line here?
Yes, it's $5,000.
It's $5 grand. $5 grand.
The super delegate thing, the only chance for that to happen was in the selecting of the categories for round 2. But we haven't figured out a way to implement the super delegate thing for the end of the game. We should try to do that though, just to figure out a
Crush
way.
all souls.
Is it like a
There's
Jeopardy
going to be
thing?
one random question, and if you get it right, it's the super delegate, and you lose all your points. That's what we'll have to do in the future.
Oh, we'll just flip a coin like Iowa. So
Right.
there you go. We'll just flip a coin and we'll do it fake. And this whoever's trailing will give them to tie it up. So it goes into overtime. So it gets better ratings.
Do it.
All right. Tied up 5 apiece into the final 2 questions. This is exciting. All right. Religious law or state law? No advertising in cemeteries. Respect the dead.
Kevin.
State law.
Kevin got me.
Kevin, you have the lead now for the first
Oh,
time tonight.
man.
That is correct.
So what? I got a 1 in 50 shot, I guess, in the state.
Got a
That
1
is
in 50
absolutely
shot.
1 in 50 shot at
Good
guessing the
chance
state.
here. I always
Pardon?
do this. I got a 2% chance, basically. I mean, I'm just if I guess 1 out of 50. Okay, so can you repeat that question one more time? The
Yes, I
statement.
can. Which state has the following law? No advertising in cemeteries. Respect the dead.
Kansas.
That is incorrect. Pat, you have 49 other states to choose from to potentially tie this up.
I was hoping
Going
to
into-
force this on him.
Final question.
I
Which
wanted to
state-
pick. I'm not picking Florida. I'm not because I feel like this. I feel like this is it's a little tricky question here. I'm gonna go find. Well, can you use it in a sentence?
It is a sentence, isn't it?
Sorry. I'm gonna go with California.
That is incorrect. Kevin retains the lead going into the final question. Ron
damn it.
Placone, tell
This is-
everybody.
I'm
That was my second guess, honestly.
So I was hoping people might think eerie states, and if I would have said Stephen King, it would have been an obvious clue. The answer is Maine. Maine has that law. No advertising in cemeteries.
The only thing scary about Stephen King now is his shit-lib views that he spews all over his Twitter account. That guy's embarrassing.
I know. It's a bummer. All right. Final question. Kevin has a 1-point lead. If it is tied at the end of this question, we will go into a bonus question and category. All right. Let me find a good one here. Okay. Religious law or state law? You cannot stomp your feet, nod your head, or keep time with music at all if you are in a restaurant or tavern.
Are hands raised or are they not raised?
Oh, I was well. Go to the tape.
So what? How does this? What's the ruling on this?
Well,
Is
you
this
both had your hands raised, and then you both put them down, and then
So they had their hands up.
they both had their hands up, then they both put them down, and I was like, "Are hands up or are hands down?"
Is it a
Okay.
wash? Do we do anyone?
All right,
You're
here,
gonna
just
read
repeat it. Repeat it.
Okay, I'm going to repeat. Make sure your hands are down until you think you know
And
the
put
answer.
it up when you're ready to answer.
You cannot stomp your feet, nod your head, or keep time with
Kevin.
music.
State law.
Kevin, that is correct.
Pat, I don't even feel good winning this. That was so
You are the
That's
winner. To
obviously
try to
not a
just
religious law, for God's sake.
yeah. Which state has that law? Just to get a 3-point lead at the end.
Okay, and can you read it one final time?
You cannot stomp your feet, nod your head, or keep time with music at all if you are in a restaurant or tavern.
Oh man, so many stupid states with stupid leadership. Seems like one of those old laws that just never got changed. Let me think. You can't
That's
keep
most of
time.
the ones on this show.
I mean, you can't keep time and dance in a restaurant. Is that basically the rule?
Yes, keep time with music at all if you are in a restaurant or tavern.
Florida?
Incorrect. Pat, a chance at just a little redemption here with a final point.
I feel like it's whatever state Footloose was shot in. Am I wrong there? Is it? That's all I've got. No, let me pick a random state.
Just give him the win. That was such.
I'm gonna go with Montana.
That is incorrect. Kevin was on the closest in terms of his guessing by saying it's an old state that probably just stayed on the books. So Ron, tell everybody which very old state has this law.
Live free or die, New Hampshire.
Yes.
New Hampshire.
But
Yep.
Fuck New Hampshire.
yeah.
He's right. Fuck New Hampshire.
Why do we start the primaries there? It makes no sense. Like, why does that state get any? Iowa, New Hampshire? Why do we give a shit? But Kevin, congratulations. You're our big winner tonight. Outstanding. Came from behind late.
Crushed. Absolutely crushed.
Big swing towards the end. Winner is Kevin Ronca.
Thank you.
So Pat, before you go, thanks for being on the show. Tell everybody where they can follow you, get your books, and what you got going on right now.
Yeah, so I'm Pat the Burner on Twitter. Used to be Peter Douche. That's not a thing anymore. You can go to get the book at savageandpat.com, which is the Ask Queen Chronicles, which mocks. It's a fictional forum mocking everyone in the Democratic Party. Cheers.
It's a fantastic
and this
book.
weekend I'm going to be part of the Fred Hampton leftist general strike stuff. So please pay attention to that for the next 3 days. I don't care if you don't like Fred Hampton leftists or any of those people involved, but it's really important that we all have a discussion about creating the material conditions for a general strike. And that's the whole point. I don't care if you hate these people. You know, the worst people on Twitter hate them, but you know, anyway, just join in for the discussion. It's a discussion about what we need to do to create the right conditions for a general strike.
Yeah, that's great. And we're getting close. I mean, a lot of these, all these labor strikes that are happening and whatever we're calling it, Strike Vember or whatever is it's impressive. And it's just getting people geared up for a general strike because we just keep getting screwed over at every turn. And everyone's aware. I mean, the thing I've noticed, everybody, be they right, left, whatever, watch the court. They all know that Wall Street made a bunch of money during the pandemic, and a lot of Americans got screwed over in the pandemic, and they're realizing this system is not working. I've never seen more people openly talking about this on social media and just in regular conversation before in my life. Usually it was like, wow, people would always be defending. There's still people defending billionaires, but I've never seen more people just be like, this system ain't working. Capitalism sucks. And the Gen Z people, they're way on board with fucking ending capitalism. So that's great. So yeah, get involved. Go check that out. And the People's Party is also expanding as well. So
speaking of the strikes, I mean, we have Kellogg's that was right near here in Lancaster, PA. They were striking not that long ago. I don't know. I think they still? I think they still might be.
I think they still are.
Yeah,
I mean, John
like
Deere
30
still
minutes.
is, and I think the IATSE, like they're still, going to the board or whatever. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. And then Starbucks in Buffalo getting closer to unionizing. I mean, it's,
Kaiser's about to be like a 40,000 person strike. So
I heard about that. Yeah.
Things are blowing up right now.
Yeah. If 40,000 Kaiser workers walk out, that's going to really, not only is that just better for labor, but that could really shake up like, hey, we need Medicare for all. You know what I mean? Because Kaiser is one of management's complaints is, oh, healthcare costs are too expensive. That's why we can't afford, we offered the employees a 2% raise or whatever they did. And it's like, well, if we had Medicare for all, the government would come in and say, you can't charge that much. The pharmaceutical companies would be held accountable and healthcare costs wouldn't be as expensive. So maybe this Kaiser strike will be the tipping point to getting Medicare for all. I don't know. I also could be way too optimistic in a country that's collapsing.
What still blows my mind is, I understand when people blame, well, I guess I can empathize people who certainly blame some people around them being careless for like what we've seen with COVID and stuff. But I'm surprised a lot of people don't even aim at the sort of most obvious target, which would be like the health insurance lobbyists, the health insurance industry, and how many people died just because of their lack of health care. And I feel like that's probably a much bigger explanation than like some low-level worker in Missouri that maybe voted for Trump and doesn't wear a hanky on their face sometimes. Like it's more likely that is bad, but it's a much bigger problem that nobody has health care. Like that is just it's criminal. It's
well,
criminal.
a third of people would still be alive.
That's what I mean. It is. It's criminal.
Not to mention the average cost of a COVID hospitalization is $75,000. We're not talking about that. Like, I mean, it's just like, there's so many other issues we should be talking about, but it's always the ones that are going to keep people divided. Masks and mandates and shit like that. And while there should be reasonable discussions, even debates about that, we focus on that rather than, it's typical of America. We focus on some sort of dividing thing where you have to pick a team rather than, oh, our healthcare system is broken and billionaires profit from it.
And we're not even allowed to have.
Sometimes you just need a game show to forget it all for a minute.
I forgot all of it.
Yeah, for that short period we played, reality just sifted away, and I was in this sort of Zen world, and now it all came flooding back.
Well, everybody go
and
check out.
And you're the winner too. You won. You didn't even bask in your victory.
Do I get to plug a few things? And is it like Jeopardy where I get to come back until I lose?
Well, I don't know about the second part. But what we normally do is then the Pat, thank you so much for being on the show. Check out Pat the Burner on Twitter, everybody. And we will see you soon, my friend.
Right on.
Hi, Pat.
Kevin.
You leaving me alone without him?
Yeah, that's how we always do it.
Oh, cool.
The winner gets to stay on and then plug what they plug. They get to plug last.
Oh, that's really cool. Thank you so much for having me. I want to thank you again.
Sure,
you guys have been really cool. Yeah, so after several years of having a lot of our work either banned, shadow banned, or in Amazon's case, we're not allowed to upload documentaries there anymore, and they've just changed their whole policy. If anybody wants to find my work or Right Brain's work or even other underground films, and we even have free content on our website. We've curated the John Pilger stuff. We don't charge for it, which I think he actually encourages. So we have a lot of his documentaries about imperialism, but we just have a lot of work on the site because we know times are tough right now and people don't have a lot of money. But Right Brain TV is our website. We've been working on it. It's rightbrainstudios.tv. The Revolution Televised is up there for free. We got all kinds of films and series, and my new podcast, Smoke Break, the shortest podcast in the world, where I have these sort of 9 to 10 minute discussions over a smoke. But yeah, I mean, it's exclusive for members for some of the content, but there's a lot of resources on there people can use for free. And if you're an artist and you want to have your work featured, licensed on the website, and you sign up, you get unlimited submissions through the website. So that would make it the first sort of two-way streaming site where you can actually send work to us. And we also just dropped a magazine called Gorilla, which is our only magazine. It's a quarterly. It's a sort of mosaic of human experiences from around the world. We'll be putting the next one out next month. We dropped the first one on September 11th. And there's a great article in there called 9/11, The Untold Stories, which features this great journalist, Arub, covers the most marginalized communities when it comes to the sort of 9/11, which would be Muslims. So she does a great job of looking back on the 20 years since the attacks and how it's really hurt Muslim communities and they've become really targeted, because I feel like we very much forget about them. So, yeah, so rightbrainstudios.tv or on Instagram, rightbraintv. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thanks for being on the show,
Thanks,
Kevin,
Kevin.
and really appreciate the work you're doing. And you know, we've talked before, and you know, because you've really been stifled by the work you're doing by mainstream media, by whatever the corporate media, and so it's good that you're still putting it out there. And we've all had conversations. I'm glad you're working with Ron about we all want to create sort of a socialist Hollywood, you know, or a real Hollywood that actually talks about real issues and doesn't just, you know, blow past the class warfare that we're in right now. And so hopefully we'll all get to make something together or just work on projects together, because we all want to do. I mean, Ron and I have had extensive conversations about wanting to do more scripted stuff, and that has a, you know, a social commentary and political angle to it. Again, the politics that Hollywood just doesn't want to talk about class and labor. They just don't. They just want to make everything identity politics, and it's preposterous. So hopefully we'll get to work.
There's not a lot of avenues for any kind of leftist or progressive in the Hollywood industry, but we can still make movies. And the way you guys are trying to move into that kind of scripted content, we love making documentaries at the end of the day. But we started doing documentaries because we couldn't afford to get a funded, you know, how much more expensive is to fund a movie. And there's a lot of power in documentary, but I think it can be just as powerful in the scripted. You know, it's another tool or another weapon where you can, I think, challenge power and entertain people. So when the time comes, because I believe in timing is everything, we'll all get to work on a project together, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, dude. Check out Right Brain Studios, everybody. Kevin, great to have you back on the show. I'm sorry it's taken so long. We'll get you back on way sooner than that. Same with Pat.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, Matt.
Bye, Kevin. What a contest, man. That was a good
Dude!
low scoring, but neck and neck, man. I mean, not a ton of points, but it kind of kicked in at the end there. That was a good game. That was a good
I
one.
love it when it comes down to
the last question. Yeah, it's always the best.
Somebody came from behind. We introduced the super delegate category. It didn't get picked, but anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Which, by the way, Graham, we should take a second here to mention a couple things. First of all, what is next for Anything Can Happen? We are hoping to bring Anything Can Happen to college campuses all over the country. We have a campus edition of Anything Can Happen that we've been developing for a long time. It'll make a great game for colleges, I feel like.
And we will cater it to whatever college you're at. We will pit the departments against each other in a fun contest, and we will always script it for what's happening that moment on campus. So if you want Anything Can Happen to come to your college campus, let us know. We'll cut that in. Outstanding, Ron. And now the part of the show that we always love playing. How about a little You Should Know This, Ron Placone?
All right, let's do it.
For those of you who've never watched this segment of the show, Ron is very knowledgeable about music, and I'm very knowledgeable about movies. I don't know much about music, and Ron doesn't know much about movies. So
nothing.
Nothing. So
like nothing about movies.
So
I've never seen one. I've only seen one live. That's it. And then they were like, "That's not a movie. That's a play." I'm like, "Oh shit." So still, I've never.
I was wondering why I was on the screen.
Yeah, I was like, I've heard there's a screen involved.
Ron's like, "I've seen that movie." I'm like, "No, Ron, you drove past a billboard."
Yeah,
that wasn't the same thing.
I drove past 3 billboards in Ebbing, Missouri. Now that's a movie I actually did see in theaters and regretted it. I didn't like it. Some people did, some people didn't. I didn't.
Well, all right. So Ron is going to say a line from fairly
Song.
popular song and band, and I got to try to guess it, and he'll give me hints, and it's something. I'm going to turn the chat off or put it to private.
I'm going to have the chat on because I always sometimes when no one gets it, I'm worried I pick something too obscure, but yeah. Anyway.
I love watching people's heads explode when there's an obvious movie you don't know. I love watching that. All right, here we go.
Right. Ready?
Here we go for You Should Know This. Ron Placone, what song lyric should I know?
This bed is on fire with passionate love. The neighbors complain about the noises above, but she only comes when she's on top. This is a kind of a one-hit wondery type deal. You want some more lyrics?
Is it Jane's Addiction?
Ooh, fantastic guess, but no. But you're kind of in the ballpark.
Is it that era of like late 80s, early 90s,
Yes.
sort of
Yes.
alt rocky kind of shit?
Alt rocky. Yep, you're in the ballpark. You might get song title and artist you might not get, but I think song title you got a good shot at. You want another line?
Yeah, give me another line.
My therapist said not to see you no more. She said you're like a disease without any cure. She said I'm so obsessed that I'm becoming a bore. You think you're so pretty.
You think you're so pretty.
There you go. All right. And then they go,
you think you're so pretty. And that's this line that you're doing that's the name of the song that I'm not
almost there. You're like almost at the name of the song. They just kind of do like a yelp and then they say a word and that's the name of the song.
Pretty. Crazy. You think you're so
fantastic guess, but no, that's not what they say.
This is one of these songs I heard on the radio a million times that I'd never paid attention to who sang it or the name of the song.
So they go in falsetto and they say a word, and that word is the name of the song. It's one word, and it goes in the theme with what they're singing about a lot in the song. She only comes when she's on top.
You think you're so pretty. Jello. I don't know.
Jello, fantastic guess, but also no, they're not singing about Jello. You're right, it's a commercial.
That sounds like a jingle to me, Ron. I don't know. You think you're so pretty.
You're like almost there. You're scratching. You're right there. But it might be like you never realized what they were saying. In fairness, like it might be like you never realized what they were saying.
I guarantee you that's what's it. Like if you were to play the song right now, I'd be like, I wouldn't know what. I always thought they were saying, "You think you're
Jello.
so pretty."
You always thought they were. You always thought they were trying to sell you Jello. You're just like, I know what I want for dessert now, and everyone else is like, "What are you talking about, Graham?" Like, God, it's the Jello song.
You know, it's about Knox blocks. That one. You think you're so pretty. Lady.
Oh my God, you're almost, dude. You're late.
You think you're so
You almost
pretty.
said it. You said too much. Like you said
Lay? That's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Laid. Laid is the name of the song.
Laid.
Yeah.
Laid. That's the name.
Yeah. Laid. Yeah. That's what they're saying. Laid.
I've heard that song a bunch. Until right now, I never knew what they were saying when they went to that part.
That's what they're saying.
I'll never get
that's what most of it is about. Yeah.
It's just about having sex.
Yeah. A lot of it.
You think you're so pretty. Laid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so who sang that? So it wasn't Jane's
I
Addiction.
doubt you'll get the artist. They didn't have anything else that was very mainstream, or they might have had one other thing. Now, and it's been covered some over the years. But I can tell you that the artist is a man's name.
Johnny.
You're close. Starts with a J.
The Jayhawks.
No. It's still just a dude's name.
Oh. Jeremy.
No.
Josh.
This was one I couldn't guess. This was like when I couldn't guess the right G name.
Yeah, I had to go through every G name ever written.
We have a musician. We have a mutual musician friend of ours who has this name, who plays in a band that we have seen together. Who this is his first name. We've seen, they've come to a bunch of our shows. We've seen their band in LA.
Oh, Fire Tiger.
Yeah.
Jimmy. No.
Almost. What's the formal name of that?
James.
Yeah, James. That's the band. They're called James.
Then
Yeah, the name of the band is James. That's what I was like. I don't think you're gonna get the name of the band. I mean, it's because they haven't done, and I
No
don't
way.
think they. Yeah, but yeah,
Never.
I figured the song. You've heard that song,
yeah.
but I was like, he'll do song. He won't do artist for this one. But,
Like,
yeah,
she only comes when she's on top or whatever. I've heard that lyric.
you've heard that song, and you've probably heard their version, and you probably heard the Matt Nathanson version that came out later. But yeah.
Oh.
But that is it was a one-hit wonder thing, and yeah, but that's a fun one. I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs.
I never would have guessed Lade or James ever.
You got there. You almost said it. Like you clearly heard it. Like, yeah. Some people brought up American Pie, and yeah, that was the famous cover. That was I believe Matt Nathanson was the artist who covered that for that soundtrack. It opened.
Okay.
It's such a cool opening to like the movie, but yeah, that song opens that movie. Now there's a movie I've seen.
All right. Before we get into my movie, you should know this, folks. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, and support us at rockfin.com, blockchain cryptocurrency. For $10 a month, you get all of my premium stuff, Ron's premium, everybody on the platform's premium stuff. It's pretty awesome. And if you're in the Los Angeles area over Thanksgiving weekend, November 27th, Saturday after Thanksgiving, we are doing a stand-up comedy show in Toluca Lake.
That's right. Mrs. Robinson's Irish Pub. Grab your tickets now. GrahamElwood.com or RonPlacone.com. Get your tickets. Don't wait. We can't wait to see you.
It's a cool little venue.
It's a cool little venue right after the holiday. Come hang out.
We'll have some special guest spots. So you don't know who's going to pop in. It's LA.
Yeah, it's LA. It's going to be fun.
All right.
Hit me with some movie stuff.
Hit me with some movie stuff. Ron Placone. So let's go. I had it here. All right. Let me put this ticket link up there. It's on the screen, folks. Can you hear those sirens?
Yeah, I can. Are you on the run? What's going on?
Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
All right. No more questions.
Just let me just grab my crypto wallet and I gotta go. I'll reconnect with you somewhere down the road.
I'll text you the quote and you can try to guess. Go to the chat when you've had enough.
All right, I'm back into the chat. So Ron, please leave the chat.
I'm out of the chat.
Ron is out of the chat. All right. The movie I wanted to go with is I feel like this one might be way too easy, but I'm going to give it a shot.
You never know, man. I'm pretty bad with this.
All right. I'm sorry I ruined your Black Panther party.
Ah, shit. I know. Oh, Forrest Gump.
Oh, shit. I knew that was.
Yes! I got one. Yes. This is a record for me. He says that to Jenny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
I'm sorry I
Oh.
ruined your Black Panther party. Like,
Oh, such a sad move. Beautiful movie, but my God, you're depressed for like a week after. You can't have plans for a weekend if you're gonna watch that movie.
it's
You're
pretty
gonna be
nuts.
like, I'm just too sad to think about much of anything.
Someone in the chat put Full Metal Jacket. Somebody else put Transformers.
That was a
Somebody put
record for
Taken.
me.
You've never got one this quickly, I don't think. Ever.
No, never. Yes,
That was impressive,
that's
Ron
best.
Placone.
I'm so happy. This is what a night. What a perfect ending.
It is a perfect ending.
Yeah. Well, thank you. All right. Great movie. Fantastic movie. Very sad, but great movie.
Very sad. Come to the live show because if there's time, we might end the show with a little "You Should Know This." We did that in
We did that in Sacramento, San Francisco, and in Flappers Burbank. It's a good time. Good time. I didn't get it as quickly as I did.
Somebody in the chat wrote they watch Forrest Gump once a week. It's a classic movie. I figure this is
it is a great movie.
Yeah. I feel like this is the kind of thing you would have watched with your family growing up a lot and heard all the lines. So I was even trying to pick a more obscure line, not like Life Was Like a Box of Chocolates or something with Jenny in it.
That's like.
But I was like, that scene in the movie, I'm sorry I ruined your Black Panther party. So, all right. I meant to ask him about Full Metal Jacket sometime, not my guess. Oh, you want to just ask me about Full Metal Jacket? Somebody put Three Dog Night because that's your go-to when it's wrong.
That's my go-to, man. Usually Three Dog Night. I keep that in the pocket. It's a solid not guess.
Three Dog Night, which is I love it because it's the name of a band.
Oh yeah.
You think it's I just saw it online. I started I think on HBO I started watching 3 Days of the Condor, the movie you're trying to reference that you'd never get right.
I've not seen. I started Dexter because there's a new Dexter now. So I'm like, well, I'm going to start at the beginning, see what it does for me. And I got really high, so I was just confused. But I'm going to try again. We didn't get through the pilot yet.
You're watching the Dexter remake high. That sounds fantastic.
Not the remake. I'm starting at the beginning. I'm like, this is, yeah. I started at the beginning. So what was that, like 99 or something? When did that thing start?
A while. Yeah, that show's been on a while.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell by the dress. I'm like, this is a bit of a timestamp. But yeah. I guess I'm in for a treat. Apparently, it's really good.
I never got into it, but a lot of friends of mine really loved it.
I'm giving it a shot. I'll let you know how it goes. I lost track of what was happening, so I got to start the pilot again. This is why I don't see stuff. This is why, like, sometimes I choose the wrong times, and then I'm like, I don't know what's going on, or I don't remember any of the characters. And then I'll bring it up to my wife, and she'll be like, "How do you not? We watched this." And I'm like, I don't think I was really like paying attention. And then she gets mad. She's like, God, we have to. And she'll rewind it, and she'll be like, you sit and you watch it now. And then, like I'm putting time out. It's like, understand this, then we can move on. So that's why I don't see a lot of movies, I think. I've always just been like this.
You're putting a time out. I love that. Ron, find your corner. Like, is there just a movie corner?
Who's this guy? No. How do you not know? We've not. There many times where I'm like, oh, we haven't met this character before, right? And she's like, it's the main fucking person. It's the person who killed the other person. I'm like, oh, someone died in this? Like that's.
This character is the name of the movie. Oh, I didn't know that. When did he get introduced? At the start of the movie, Ron. That's when it's.
You want to just bail on this? Watch Three Dog Night. I'm in the mood for something.
You want to just bail on this? God, you're probably an awful person to watch a movie with. Man, this would be Just like, what's that guy doing? Well, we're gonna find out in a second. Well, when are we gonna find out? When they do the court case. Oh,
I am
really? There's
that
a court
guy.
case?
I am that guy. I'm just like, I'm like, oh, so why are they doing? My wife will be like, that's why we're watching it. We're gonna find out. We don't know yet. They're
They
like,
reveal
well, yeah,
it.
what's their deal? Like, I know as much as you do. I know, like they just got on the screen. It's my first intro too.
Well, are they going to win the court case? I bet you we'll find out at the end of the movie, since that's where we're in.
Why does she keep asking if it holds water? Who's Vinny? Who is he? Did we meet him?
I mean, are they going to save Private Ryan? I don't know. I mean, when are they going to find him? Like, are they just running around Europe?
Why was he an English teacher by day? They never unpacked that.
Oh man, does Vito Corleone stay alive or what? I mean, are they're trying to kill everybody in this? It seems weird. Like, why are they so mad at each other?
Oh man. Well, right on. Get your tickets now for November 27th.
Yes.
Forrest Gump. Can't fool me.
Forrest Gump, Ron's quickest victory ever. Come celebrate Ron's quickest victory ever. November 27th at
Toluca Lake.
Toluca Lake. Tickets at romplacone.com or grahamelwood.com. All right, buddy. Tell everybody where they can watch your programming.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, of course, at Ron Placone, on Rockfin, Ron Placone. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone. You can get my podcast, Get Your News On with Ron, wherever you get podcasts. RonPlacone.com for all tour dates. Right now, we just got the show in Los Angeles. And you can check out my movie trailer. It's my pinned tweet. You can find it on all my channels, or go to GoFundMe.com, type in Left It Wall. Check out the trailer. It was edited by Kevin, tonight's Victor. And yeah, if you like what you see and feel like making a contribution to help make the movie a reality, please do. If you're not able to, that's cool. Just watch the trailer anyway. Tell your friends. We're going to be breaking ground on the real film soon, and I'm stoked for it.
All right, dude. Thanks for being on the show. We'll see you soon.
All right, man. Peace.
Later, brother. Ron Placone, everybody. Let me just read a couple of the tips over at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Matt S. Shave your knuckles for justice. Thank you, my friend, for supporting us at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Really appreciate it. Robert Swanick, good to see you over there. Venetia David, shave your knuckles for justice. She said, good job, Ron. Yes. Quickest Ron win we've seen in a You Should Know This ever. That was amazing. Sounds like someone's been watching movies. You might be right, Mira Maxwell. Thank you all for supporting the show and tuning in. We will be doing government secrets. Here's Ron's GoFundMe. Let me put that Left It Wall that Kevin Ronca is involved with. So support that, because that's how we got to fund indie films and stuff like that, since Hollywood's probably not going to give us the money. They might, you never know. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll be doing government secrets, 3:00 Pacific, 6:00 Eastern time. Check out GovSeeks tomorrow, Friday. We're already going over the categories, what we're going to cover, the segments, and next week will also be the second week where we're going to make it a regular feature of government secrets. We're going to do a today in governments on this date in government secrets. We're going to go back to a historical, whatever day we record the show, say on this date, the government did this awful thing at the top of the show. And then we're going to go into our segments. Got two good segments tomorrow. Lee Camp's got a good one. I've got one too. So yeah, government secrets is scrolling below. And then of course the late night crypto lounge every Monday, 8:00 Pacific time. I think next week I know I keep saying this, but I think I'm going to move up late night crypto lounge to 7:00 Pacific, which is 10:00 Eastern. So I think that's because we'll get more people from the East Coast watching, because I know 11 o'clock is pretty late for everybody on the East Coast. So I know 10 might be a little more doable. The show tomorrow is at 3:00 Pacific, 6:00 Eastern, Friday for Government Secrets. Thank you to Kate, our moderator. Good job, Kate, keeping the scores. And once again, thank you to Ron Placone. Love doing the show with him. And also great to have Pat the Burner and Kevin Ronca as guests. Fun, always fun. The game show is a blast. We just get to laugh and joke around and be silly. I hope a segment Kid Rock is a psyop. Hello from Denmark. My condolences on Joe Biden. Yes. Yeah, Biden, Trump, these are our presidents. These are who we have. Ron and I were talking today on the phone about maybe in the spring or summer doing a tour of shows through Europe. We really want to make this happen. There's a bunch of countries in Europe I haven't been. I've never been to Denmark. I've never been to Portugal. I've never been to Spain. Never been to Prague, you know. So we will Kate loves thorium reactors. Right on. So all right, folks. Thank you for watching the show. Tune in tomorrow, 3:00 Pacific time, 6:00 Eastern for Government Secrets with Lee Camp. We would love to see you. Yes, we're going to, I think, you know, we're finding out, Ron and I are finding out that there's a lot of like more English speaking comedy clubs and everyone in Western Europe speaks English. So we want to come to a stand-up tour through Europe. So we're really working on that. I would love to come to Europe for like a month or so and just tour and just hang out. I got friends in Europe. There's so many places I haven't seen. So I really want to do it. And maybe we'll just start in like Ireland and London, the UK, and then move our way east, you know, just like Hitler did. Whoa. And get all the way over to Moscow and St. Petersburg. So we're talking about it. It's a big undertaking. We got to see what's going to happen with the fucking COVID and what countries are open and not open, all that other bullshit. But we're planning it. So, all right, that's our show, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you to Kate. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please support what we do at patreon.com/Graham Elwood, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. You can also support us at Venmo. There's a PayPal button. And let me just check. If you go to grahamelwood.com, we have merchandise for sale, political vigilante merchandise. So check that out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting what we do. And what's up with Lederhosen? Am I right? 80% of Denmark speaks English. No worries. We will understand everything you say. Martin, rock on. 2022 Euro tour. Let's hope. I've already canceled another time. We just canceled the tour last month. So I don't want to say like it's done, but we're talking about it and we're going to start to piece it together. So be ready, kids. Ba-boom. Indeed, Kate. Ba-boom. Thank you all so much. I'll be here all fortnight. Tip your waitstaff. No, you don't have to tip waitstaff in Europe because they're probably making a good hourly wage. It's only in this god-awful capitalist nightmare we have to do that. You all are fantastic. Thanks for supporting the show. It's been super fun. And we will see you tomorrow doing a Gov 6.